Solana and Avalanche, they are the two biggest blockchain networks in the crypto space today. They are also avid contenders in the battle to replace Ethereum in the race to shape a decentralized future. Now, individually, Solana and Avalanche took a spin on the blockchain technology that made it possible for them to create easily scalable and more environmentally friendly ecosystems for the creation of decentralized applications. However, and here's the question, which blockchain is better? Well, in this video, I'll be putting the two networks against the other to see if one is, well, better grounded than the other. Which of these two is the superior blockchain worthy of replacing Ethereum? Stay with me to the end to find out. Hello, by the way, your Crypto Knight Maddie here, and this is the channel that aims to spread awareness on all cryptocurrencies. Crypto Knights. I'm here once again to share and spread awareness on, well, everything crypto. But before we dive into comparing two of the biggest blockchain networks, please know that whatever we share here is not financial advice. No. And we on Crypto Knights are not mandated to create any videos for any brand, any service, any company, any cryptocurrency. I'm just another guy crazy about cryptocurrencies and deep into investing in them, who has a passion for spreading awareness and education on the many possibilities that cryptocurrencies offer. So, with that out of the way, let's start with a brief history of Solana and Avalanche. Solana was first introduced to the world in 2017 by Anatoly Yakovenko. Now, Yakovenko has a long history of working in various tech establishments. He'd previously been an executive at Qualcomm, the company behind most chips in modern smartphones. Together with Eric Williams and Greg Fitzgerald, Yakovenko created Solana Labs, and they succeeded in launching the blockchain in March 2020. Greg Fitzgerald now serves as the CTO of Solana Labs. The launch of the Solana network in early 2020 put it in a prime position to play a pivotal role in what will be known as the DeFi summer of 2021. Now, this was a period where there was a surge in the creation of decentralized financial tools based on smart contracts that each brought different financial services to the crypto space. Hundreds of decentralized applications, otherwise known as dApps, were created on the Solana network. Solana's super fast transaction speed and low fees were an instant point of attraction to dApp developers. Now, there are currently over $8 billion worth of tokens locked in the Solana network in various DeFi projects. Saber, one of Solana's biggest projects, had over $2 billion in total value locked by itself by October 2021. Avalanche, on the other hand, was developed by a group of researchers from Cornell University. The team behind the Avalanche network is now known as Team Rocket and is led by a professor of computer science, Gun Sirer. Sirer had always been a believer in blockchain technology, creating a peer-to-peer file sharing protocol called Karma back in 2003. Now, Karma worked on the proof-of-work mechanism that both Bitcoin and Ethereum use. And Karma worked similarly to BitTorrent, the popular peer-to-peer file-sharing service. Now, Ava Labs were created under the leadership of Sirer, together with two of his postgraduate students, Kevin Seknicki and Mofan Yin. Now, the goal of the organization was to meet the limitations of Ethereum and Bitcoin to create a scalable blockchain without sacrificing security. Avalanche, it's a relatively new blockchain network compared to networks like Cardano, Solana, or Near Protocol. Avalanche had a successful ICO in July 2020 where it raised $42 million. It raised even more funding through different venture capitalists and token sales. Now, these funding rounds made it possible for Avalanche to eventually launch its mainnet in September 2020. Avalanche is now the 17th biggest cryptocurrency by market cap, above projects like Polygon and Litecoin. Avalanche's late entry puts it behind Solana in a lot of different ways. First, on the issue of scalability. Avalanche and Solana, being direct competitors of Ethereum, have approached the issue of scalability in different ways, each coming out with very good results. For example, Solana can reach 65,000 transactions per second, its maximum recorded rate. Avalanche is capable of a more modest throughput of only about 4,500 transactions per second. Solana is, yes, the clear winner here, being exponentially faster than Avalanche in transaction processing speed. Next, let's compare their tokens and how their values are maintained. Avalanche's native token is called AVAX, Now, one AVAX coin is currently worth $17 with a circulating supply of 283 million AVAX tokens. The value of the total volume of AVAX gives Avalanche its market cap of $4.91 billion, and the total AVAX supply is capped at 720 million. The AVAX token has a hybrid creation. Half of the total supply was pre-minted during the launch of the network back in September 2020. The remaining half is to be minted through the staking process of creating new blocks on the blockchain. The newly minted token will serve as a reward to block validators who keep the network whole. AVAX's primary function is to be used for various types of fees on the network. Now, fees can be used for the creation and mining of new cryptocurrencies, facilitating transactions, and creating staking pools. However, all these fees are burned after it has been paid to the network. Burning, which in crypto parlance means to permanently destroy crypto tokens, helps to prevent inflation of the currency. It keeps the total AVAX in circulation limited and ensures that their value stays intact. The team has dedicated an entire website where users can check up on the volume of AVAX tokens that have been burned. If you're interested, you can check it out too on burnedavax.com. Now, Solana's token is the SOL, and it serves a similar purpose as AVAX on the Solana network. It facilitates transactions and is utilized for fees. SOL has no maximum supply and is generated in the staking process that secures the network. There are over 342 million SOL tokens currently in circulation, resulting in a total market cap of $11.84 billion for Solana. With an unlimited supply, the Solana network would have been vulnerable to inflation and periodic devaluation of SOL. However, Sol Labs have found a way to mitigate this by buying back and burning excess tokens in circulation. This buyback and burn process is initiated by a smart contract and executed automatically. Regardless, this round goes to Avalanche for better securing the value of its token supply. Moving on to their level of decentralization. After all, how can we talk about blockchains without touching on how independent they are of central authority? Solana has a total of 1,467 nodes at the moment. While the exact number of nodes in the Avalanche network is unknown, we know that they are in the thousands. Now, nodes in a blockchain network validate transactions and prevent the blockchain from splitting into multiple chains. They come to an agreement as to the order of events on the blockchain and then create new blocks of transactions to add to the chain. The more nodes a blockchain has, the more nodes a malicious party would have to take over to take control of the network and to bend it to its whims. Now, Solana has shaky feet on this front. Back in 2021, it was discovered that almost 50% of the total nodes in the Solana network were controlled by just 5 data centers. This discovery greatly compromises Solana's network as a reliably decentralized network. So, I'll give this round to Avalanche. Now, let's quickly go over how their consensus mechanisms work. Solana is able to achieve an incredibly high transaction rate by reducing the time it takes for its nodes to come to a consensus. It uses what is called a proof of history consensus mechanism, where individual nodes are equipped with a timestamp that records the order of transactions on each node. Therefore, each node receives a record of the order of events individually, eliminating the need for deliberation. Meanwhile, Avalanche employs 3 different blockchains to speed up transactions, resulting in a trilemma of blockchains. Now, each of the 3 chains deals with different aspects of the network and therefore prevents congestion. Consensus on the network is reached through a process where a small percentage of the nodes are sampled at once to, reach a consensus. The samples are shuffled until all the nodes in the networks agree on the order of events and a consensus is reached. Now, both Solana and Avalanche's unique processes are built on the working of the proof-of-stake consensus mechanism, where validators are selected based on how many tokens they have locked as stakes. In addition to the number of stakes, Avalanche also considers the duration with which the validator had been staking to award blocks. This phenomenon is called proof of uptime. Now, the proof-of-stake mechanism is highly favored as an eco-friendly process, because it's not dependent on computing power. The next basis of comparison is the amount of activity on their network. Now, Solana currently has over 1,000 DApp projects developed with its smart contracts and running on its network. In comparison, Avalanche has about 191 projects currently. At the time of the making of this video, Solana has a 24-hour trading volume of $1.6 billion. Avalanche could not even move half that, with a trading volume of a little over $500 million. While most of the difference in activity on both platforms can be attributed to the fact that Avalanche came to the market later than Solana, Solana remains the clear winner here too. Both projects have massive community support, with thousands of developers actively creating services and assets on their blockchains. Solana is the most popular platform and is currently leading the race between the two, with projects ranging from DeFi to NFTs. It's not to say it's a clear winner. Solana is riddled with problems, including downtimes where users were unable to carry out transactions for hours. Now, this provoked questions of reliability of the Solana network. Look, it's difficult to say which of these two mighty projects will come out on top. However, I can say with confidence that both Solana and Avalanche still have a long way to go, with their value nowhere near their peak. They've got solid bases with secure and highly scalable blockchains. Both remain a threat to Ethereum, biding their time till they take over as the primary open source blockchain. And that's it from me today. This is Matty, your Crypto Knight, and I'm saying take care and don't forget to keep your wits about you as you invest today. We'll catch you in the next one.